Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the modded Minecraft guide. This is episode 2 of the series, and if you're with me for the first one, you will remember that we managed to actually get a few useful things set up in the world here, so let's quickly go over those. The first one was the Cobblestone Generator that is producing cobblestone automatically for us. This is tier 2, so we upgraded it to the tier 2 level, which can be upgraded further, but we do not have the materials required just yet. We're also producing wood, apples, saplings, and sticks automatically using the bonsai pots. And between episodes, I added another couple of bonsai pots into the world. The first one being a spiderweb sapling, which if we take a look at the recipe is very simple to make. And this will produce string for us over time, so we are now automatically producing string. So any regular sapling as well as 3 string will give you the spiderweb sapling. We've also got another oak sapling being produced over here, which is going to give us leaves rather than saplings, because these might be quite useful to us at the beginning of our world here as well. So I figured that anything we've already covered in an episode, we can go ahead and continue with off camera, so you guys already know how the bonsai pots work. We've also been smelting up a bunch of ingots here, so we've got some gold and some iron on the go, which we can then pop into our crate here. So we're now looking at a healthy amount of iron, bit of gold, so we're in a good position, right? We've been sifting a little bit more of the gravel to produce the pieces here that we convert into the ores. So I think what I want to do at the start of this episode is grab all of the sieves that have the flint stiffened mesh, because we want to upgrade these now to iron so that we can be using the iron ones simultaneously. So let's grab a bunch of iron ingots here, and this again will just allow us to produce more useful items. So when we are sifting the gravel, for example, in the iron stiffened mesh, we can actually get things like emeralds and diamonds, so that will help us out massively. You can see we're up to 2 diamonds because one of the sifting sessions I did, I focused solely on the iron stiffened mesh, and that managed to produce us an extra diamond. So we're going to go ahead and do that right at the beginning of this episode. Okay then guys, so I want to dive straight into some quests today, and the first one is going to be this patterns quest here. So this allows you to start off Tinker's Construct, which is a great mod that allows you to make custom tools and weapons in the game. So what we'll do is we'll just work our way through the crafting recipes here, and for those we're going to need a fair amount of wood, so we'll just take a stack from the bonsai station over there. And what we want to do is craft up some planks and sticks. So we'll do this, and then maybe separate about 1/4 of it out for sticks. And then to make the blank patterns, all you need to do is a combination of those 2 blocks right there. So wood planks and sticks like so. And then we need to make the station crafting station blocks, I guess. I don't really know what to call them. So using the blank pattern here, we can start those off. So the first one you want to do is something like this. So that gives you the stencil table. And then we want to do one like this to get the part builder. And then we need to make a chest and pop a pattern on top to make the pattern chest. And then the final one that we're looking at is a crafting table, another blank pattern, and that will give us a tool station, arguably the most useful out of the 4 here. So as I say, what these do is they're part of a mod called Tinker's Construct, which will allow you to make custom tools and weapons. And we'll dive into that, as I say, immediately here in the video. We've got a couple quests to turn in. I forgot about this one at the end of last episode as well. And we will immediately use our RAK here to grab ourselves a 10 RAK loot chest. And that gives us the Nether Bane. Okay, so this is not too bad, right? This is a weapon. It's pretty good for the early game, so we'll just stick that in our toolbar right there. Might be quite helpful coming up. So we've got ourselves the tool station, the pattern chest, the part builder, and the stencil table. We should pop these down somewhere. Maybe over here will do. So we'll go with the tool station. Then we'll have our pattern chest. This needs to go next to the stencil table. And actually what we'll do is we'll move the tool station, put the part builder here, and have that over there, because it's useful to have these two blocks here connected to the pattern chest just for easy access. So there we go, they're connected and we can access those. So what we're going to do now is create some, actually we're not going to create some patterns, are we? We might just follow the quests here. So next up is simply Tinkers, and this is going to require a bunch of that unfired porcelain. So I think I might just go ahead and craft a bunch of this off camera quickly. And there we go, we've got ourselves some unfired porcelain and some porcelain bricks. So the porcelain brick is crafted by putting the unfired porcelain into a furnace, and the unfired porcelain is crafted using bone meal and clay. Bone meal we can get from sifting dust. There you go. And now that we got this set up, we need to craft a few items. And those items are the Porcelain Melter, the Porcelain Tank, Porcelain Faucet, Porcelain Casting Basin, and Porcelain Casting Table. And we should have precisely enough to do all of that. So the first thing I'll do is craft the Faucet, which you need to then smelt. So let's go ahead and just pop one plank in there to get that done. And then we'll craft ourselves the Melter, is this, I think? Oh, perhaps not. Perhaps that isn't the way it works. We might have to go ahead and make some more brick then. I was under the impression that that was a piece of glass required there. So then we can make the casting table, the casting basin, and let me just take a look at that recipe. So Porcelain Melter needs a gauge, a window, a tank. Okay, so we're going to need at least 4 more of these porcelain brick. Aha, so that should do the trick. And then we need to craft ourselves, first of all, whatever this was called, a porcelain gauge. And then if we put the gauge in the middle and surround it like this, we get the Porcelain Melter. And altogether, this will be the setup that allows us to start our Tinker's Smeltery journey. So let's turn that in if we can. It's not detecting the faucet, and that's because I haven't removed it from the furnace. Very clever of me. Okay, there we go. Claim, that will give us our RAK. And then it wants us to make some grout. So grout is used in crafting the bricks that are required to build the smeltery. So we need clay, gravel, and sand for that. Okay, so we've got a little bit of clay. Can we craft that back into a block? We can. Good. And then we also needed sand and gravel, right? Yep, there we go. And I crafted some sand and gravel off camera just to make sure that we'd have enough. Here, let's go back to the quest guide, take a look. So 4 sand, 4 gravel. Easy enough, right? Easy enough. Let's do that. And then another ring and then some clay. That gives us grout, and that should be that quest complete. Perfect. And then the final one is to set up the smeltery itself. So we're going to try to automate this a little bit, right? We are going to try our best anyway. So this is the setup required to do so. You need to have your porcelain tank above your porcelain melter, or underneath it. It just needs to be connected to it, right? So it can be underneath or above. And then you want to have your casting table or basin right here. And then your faucet over the top of the casting basin so that any liquids in the smelter can be poured out into the basin itself. And then you need to give this some fuel. So lava is what we're going to be using since we have access to lava and lava only at the moment. So this means the clay bucket we currently have is going to break. There we go. But it's worth the trade-off, in my opinion, to get this smelter running. And then if we pop some grout in there, it will eventually smelt down into some form of stone. I think it's called smelted seared stone, but we'll see that in just a second. Okay guys, we've had a bit of a hiccup here, but we can recover very easily. So I wanted to smelt down 2 ingots worth of gold so that we could make an ingot cast, which I'll show you how to do in just a second. However, that meant that we had to pour the seared stone out into the casting basin, and there wasn't quite enough to make a block. So we're going to have to waste this, unfortunately, but that's okay because it's very easy to make more. So instead of the basin, we're going to use the casting table, I've decided. And to make an ingot mold, as well as any other mold required in the game, you place down the item that you want to mold. So we've got an ingot on the table, right click the faucet, and you can see the gold pours into the tray. And after the progress bar is completed, we will get an ingot cast. So this can also be used to craft bricks. So if we pop some more of the grout into the smelter and get some more seared stone, we should be able to produce bricks automatically. But that also will require a couple of other items. So we're going to need another one of those transfer nodes, which we should have hanging around somewhere. Aha, there we go. Flat transfer node. We need another one of those guys. I've already crafted a basic drawer for us to store the items in because you guys have seen those already. And we're also going to need a redstone clock. So this will allow us to automatically pour any fluids out of the smeltery. So this is crafted using 4 stone, 4 redstone, and a redstone torch. So a stick, 4 stone, and 4 redstone. And I've accidentally placed the transfer node on top of the crate there. So to get that off, we're actually going to need the other transfer nodes, I believe, to do that. Yep. Oh, and I've placed one by accident here as well. Need to stop right clicking with those in my hand, right? So let's get that back where it belongs, just in there. Perfect. Okay, so we've got the seared stone in the smelter, so let's pop the rest of the grout in there as well. We need to craft ourselves the redstone clock, which, as I say, is very straightforward, but it does a good job for you. So we need 1 more redstone. Whoopsie daisy. I meant to grab 5 and I obviously didn't. So let's pop that one there. And then stone in the corners, that gives you the redstone clock. Very good. And the redstone clock we will pop above the faucet, and you can see that this will automatically pull any of the fluids out and into the cast here. So we've got a brick ready to go. So we're going to pop the transfer node right here, and then our barrel, or our drawer I should say, right there. And you will see that automatically items will begin flowing in. However, that isn't where the automation is going to end. We are also going to create ourselves a hopper. So let's get, oops, whoops. We need to actually, no. Oh dear, I'm having a bit of trouble here. We need to actually get those back into the system. There we go. We just need 2 of these guys to make a chest. As I say, we're making a hopper. So chest, and then 5 iron ingots, like so. And then we'll just make ourselves a nice vanilla hopper like this. And the hopper is going to feed material into the smelter itself, or the melter, however it's called. And then what we're going to do to craft more of the seared stone is we're going to use compressed cobblestone. So if you compress cobblestone like this and feed it into the melter, again, you will get more of the seared stone, which will automatically be harvested and popped into this storage drawer here. So that is how we are automating the start of our Tinker's Smeltery. And we can then use these bricks to build it once we have enough. We're almost at nearly a stack of the seared bricks now, so they're still producing, but we are just about out of lava, which isn't good, okay? You need the lava to keep smelting down the stone, otherwise it will all stop and progress will come to a halt. So we used our last clay bucket, which means we're going to have to make a real bucket now. And to do that, we need the crushing table. So that requires 3 aluminium, 3 stone slabs, and 3 planks. We should have all of that in good supply, so let's grab 3 of those. 3 of these guys, and we've also just smelted up some aluminium, so there we go. So first of all, let's get the stone slabs, pop those like this, and then we've got our aluminium and planks. They're obviously the wrong way around. Couldn't remember the recipe very well. There we go. So the crushing table can go over here for now, and that allows us to complete another quest, which will be in Epsilon. Let's go ahead and claim our RAK for that. Perfect. And then for the Magneticraft crushing table, we need a specific hammer from Magneticraft. So let's quickly take a look. And I think it's this guy right here. So 2 sticks and 4 cobble is the answer. 2 sticks and 4 cobblestone to make a hammer that is strangely shaped like that. There we go. And then we're going to need 3 iron ingots for each bucket. So I say we make, how about let's make 4 buckets worth for now, because buckets are quite useful. And then what you do is you right click to place the ingot on the crushing table, and then hold right click with the hammer. And if you just keep holding right click, you will just continue to place the ingots on the table and crush them down into plates continuously. So all I'm doing, as I say, is holding right click, and eventually we will crush all of these down into plates, and then we can use them to craft the buckets. So here we go, our final 2 and the last one, and that is 12 plates. So we can go ahead and do something like this and grab ourselves 4 buckets. This means that we can permanently use them to transfer lava between the 2 systems, and now we should be good to go again. So we've got 3 blocks worth of seared stone here. We're still pouring it out, still casting it, and still making our way to the number that we need to craft up our Tinker's Smeltery. I'd say we probably had enough seared bricks now to get on with the quest. We've got 3 stacks and 40, so I'm gonna pull it all out, why not? And let's see what the quest wants us to build. So it wants a seared tank, a smeltery controller, smeltery drain, faucet, some seared bricks, casting table, and a casting basin. So a lot of this is relatively easy. So for the controller, we'll do that. And for the table, we'll do that, and the basin like this. So similar to what we did last time. The faucet can be crafted with bricks this time, like so. Okay, what else did it want? It wanted a drain and a seared tank, as well as some bricks. Okay, so the bricks, again, really easy. Just like that. The drain is done like this, so 3 bricks either side. And then finally, for the seared tank, so you can do a gauge, a tank, a window. Which one's the cheapest? I guess that one's not too bad, really. We've got a ton of the bricks and a single piece of glass right there, so we'll go ahead and make the tank. Alright, so now that we've got all of the pieces together, that should be the quest complete. It is, good. And now, really, all we need to do is just craft up some more of these bricks so that we can actually make the structure itself. So I'm going to just put all of this into bricks, and then we can start building this thing. So I cleared out a bit of space, and what we're going to do is start with a 5 by 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is what you need to do to get your Tinker's Construct Smeltery up and running. And then you want to surround this layer with bricks like so. And we are going to be putting some of the other blocks in certain places, so keep a bit of room free. You want to knock out the center one, and probably the one right to the left of it or to the right of it. So we'll put the controller in the middle like so. Then you want to put your tank or gauge connected to the controller, so on the left or the right. You can put it above or down below as well, most likely, but I would go left or right just to be sure. And then on one of the sides, you want to place your drain. So the drain can go here. There we go. And this is the exit of the drain. So on the exit of the drain, place the faucet. And then underneath the faucet, you need either your table or your basin. So right now, we're probably going to be using the table. I'll pop the basin down next to it so that we've got easy access to it. And that is that. So once you've got this basic setup sorted out, you can then go ahead and expand it if you want to. So if we've got enough brick, I'm going to expand it. Okay, 18, that might do the trick. So to expand it, you just come up to the top and create another layer of bricks above it. And what this will do is it will allow you to store more fluids inside of the smeltery, and it will also allow you to smelt more items at the same time. So if you right click the controller, you can see we've got 18 slots available to smelt stuff down, and the capacity of this thing is 144 ingots, which is very good. So with the smeltery set up, we can think about crafting our first tools. So to do that, you want to come over to your Tinker's Construct crafting equipment and start with the stencil table. So for a pickaxe, which we can see over here in the tool station, it gives you an idea of what materials you'll need. We need a tool rod, which we can create here. We need a tool binding. And finally, the pickaxe head. So we've got the patterns available. Then we want to take them over to the part builder. And if we pop them into the part builder with some cobblestone, we can just make stone versions of these patterns. So the stone is usable, but it's very, very bad. So I wouldn't advise it. Okay, so let's take out our pickaxe head. And you can just store all of these patterns in your pattern chest like so. And then to make these into molds, you'll want to take some gold. I think it's 2 ingots per mold, so let's pop in 6 ingots. And we're also going to need some lava to get this going. So have we got enough lava? We do not have a bucket's worth just yet. And whilst we're on the topic of lava, I'm really not content with how slow this is, so we're going to take the torch out. And if you guys remember correctly, I showed you in the last episode that there were a few alternatives to the torch in order to produce the lava a bit more quickly. So we're going to be crafting the blaze mesh, and I think this works 30 times faster than a torch. So if we pop that underneath, you'll see that we're making progress much quicker now. So let's pop another 4 cobblestone in. That's a bucket's worth of lava. And you can see that compared to the torch, this is way, way faster and much more convenient as well. So let's grab our bucket and take a bucket of this lava over to our smeltery here. And then you can just right click the tank to put the lava in like that. And then you'll see that the gold ingots start to melt down into their liquid form. Okay, so now the gold has melted down into molten gold, we can go ahead and make those casts. So first of all, we'll start with the tool rod. All you want to do is right click the casting table and then right click the faucet, and the gold will pour over the tool rod. And after the progress hits 100%, we've got ourselves a tool rod cast. Okay, so let's do the same for the binding. Again, right click the casting table, right click the faucet, and the gold will begin to pour. And that's our binding cast done. And then we want to do the stone pickaxe head the same way. So right click the table, right click the faucet, and the gold once again begins to pour. And then once complete, we can take our cast. So we've got the casts available to make a pickaxe. We now just need to decide what material that we are going to use. Our material of choice for our pickaxe is going to be alumite, because alumite can mine cobalt, which is ultimately what we will be using for our tools once we can get our hands on it in the nether. So to craft alumite, you need to alloy together aluminium, which is something we've got, iron, again, we've got this, and obsidian, something we don't yet have our hands on, but we can pretty easily craft it if we go over to the obsidian recipes, come across to fluid on top, and build ourselves a stone barrel. So if we put lava into the stone barrel and pour water atop it, we can get some obsidian. So the stone barrel is very easy to make, just 6 stone and a stone slab. I think we have those materials already crafted up. We do, perfect. So 6 stone, 3 either side like so, and then a slab. That gives us the barrel. But then what we want to do is kind of section the barrel off. So let's do something like this. And then we'll want to maybe have a way to get up to access the barrel itself like this. And pop the middle block out. There we go. And then grab ourselves a bucket or 2, probably 2. And we're also going to need to generate more water as well. That reminds me. So here we go. 4 saplings like this in there. That will give us another bucket. And then we want to grab some lava. Pop the lava by right-clicking into the stone barrel, and then place the water, the block above the stone barrel, and that converts the lava into obsidian. So if we do this twice, we should have enough to make our first batch of alumite. There we go. So alumite was a combination of 5 millibuckets of aluminium, 2 iron, and 2 obsidian. So 2 obsidian, 2 iron, and 5 aluminium. Now, I'm not sure how the ratios are going to work out exactly, but we'll go with 2 iron ingots, 5 aluminium ingots, and then the 2 obsidian as well. If we just pop all of that into the smeltery, eventually it will all alloy together in here, and we'll have ourselves some alumite. Here we go, we've got ourselves some alumite. Awesome, so we only really need to cast the pickaxe head in the alumite, so I might save the rest of it for anything else that we might decide to craft with it, or any recipes in the future that require it, you know? Might be useful for us, so let's let that go ahead and smelt down or cool down or whatever it does, cast. And then we're going to make the rest of the tool out of stone, which isn't a great idea. As I say, it doesn't do a lot for us, but we don't really need to make it out of alumite. So let's go ahead and craft a binding and a handle out of stone, like so. And then we've got the pickaxe head, which we've poured into the mold. And then if we take it over to the tool station, go to the pickaxe mode, and just shift click it all in, we build ourselves our alumite pickaxe. So the cobalt mining level is exactly what we need. It's not going to do great things for us since it has the stone handle and binding, but that's fine. And then let's do a ceremonious throw of the stone pickaxe. Yeah, there it goes. Off into the void, and it disappears before it even goes into the void actually. So let's take back this mold. Very good. We got ourselves a pickaxe capable of mining cobalt. And we've also pulled together enough obsidian to make a nether portal. But the problem is we don't really have a way to light it right now. So we're going to have to think about that once we've built the portal. And I don't really know where to build it. Maybe right here would be a good place. Right next to the smeltery. So let's go up 3 blocks here. 3 on the other side. And then we can just join the portal at the top like so. And to light the portal, of course, we need a flint and steel. However, in this pack, it does actually require steel. So I'm hoping that we can create steel in the smeltery here. So if we pop in 1 iron ingot and 4 coal, we should combine both of those to make steel. And so far, it looks good. So give it just a second. Oh wow, so this actually took a lot of iron and coal. Later on in the pack, you will be able to craft steel with 1 iron and 4 pulverized coal, but this took way more than that. So let's pour out our only ingot that we have here. We're going to have to intercept the ingot mold once it's done here. There we go. Take that with us quickly over here. Pop it in, right click. And is that steel? Oh yeah, that is steel. It just looked a little bit like aluminium to me when it was pouring. We obviously need to return this to the system so that can continue doing what it's doing. And then if we grab ourselves a piece of flint, then we can make ourselves a literal flint and steel rather than the one in the base game, which is of course made out of iron. So let's go and light the portal. Perfect. There we go. It worked, which is good to see. Then we can pop this away in here. But before we go through that portal, we need to armor ourselves up because it's dangerous in the nether. And when I say dangerous, I mean it's extremely dangerous, right? You need to be very careful. So we're going to make ourselves a shield as well, a vanilla shield. So the shield is crafted like this. And then a piece of iron, that gives you the shield. And then using lapis, you can make some armor, but only lapis armor. Because if you take a look at any armor, so let's look at iron armor, for example, you have to go through... It's not called iron armor, is it? It's called iron leggings, for example. You have to go through a bunch of crafting recipes to get to it. So you can see we have to make osmium, we have to make lead, we have to make nickel, and it goes on and on and on. However, you can slightly cheese the system because lapis armor can be crafted using the original recipes. So there we go, we got ourselves a full set. Now it's not the greatest by any means, but it's much better than having nothing. So we're fully decked out in lapis. We've got ourselves a shield, which we're going to pop on there. We've got this Netherbane, I thought it was called the Nightbane. Netherbane sword, which we received from a loot box earlier. And I guess that pretty much does it. So let's hop into the portal and see what our spawn is like. We're looking for cobalt ore. And as well as cobalt ore, we're looking for ardite as well. So if we can get our hands on some ardite and cobalt, this will be a successful trip, especially if we don't die or suffer too many injuries. Because as I say, the nether is extremely dangerous. There are a lot of mobs there that can deal a lot of damage, and you don't want to get caught out because they will kill you quickly, especially in such poor armor and with such poor tools. So it's taking its time, loading terrain. It does take a while to load the nether in this mod pack, that's for sure, because there's a lot of new stuff to see. And we're in. Okay, so dimension the nether, biome hell, day 0. Don't know how that works. Okay, day 8 is caught up. Okay, we seem to be relatively safe. I can see a couple spiders over there. Look, we want to be steering clear of them if we possibly can. Now, we're looking for cobalt, as I say, and ardite. So, cobalt and ardite. So, unfortunately, this nether spawn has actually killed much of our mobility because obviously we are walking around on soul sand. It makes things very slow, but we have found some ardite up here, so I'm going to mine that out immediately. Okay. Oh, dear Lord, what is that? Oh, gassed. We gotta get out of here pretty quick because I don't want to fight the gas. That's screaming though. I hear that all the time. That is crazy. Oops. Oh, this is not good being slow like this. It really isn't good. We are under attack. All right, let's see if I can bounce one back at him. There we go. Down he goes. Awesome. Right. I think I see some cobalt up there in the ceiling, so we're going to go over there. I don't think these guys are too harmful. They seem to not do much when you get close to them, so we'll take him out anyway. And we got to get up here if we can, because as I say, I'm fairly certain there's some cobalt in the ceiling. Let's get rid of that thorn stalk as well, because those will damage you. Okay, so cobalt. Good. And was that... Oh, I thought I saw some more in the ceiling there. We'll take this. Some emerald ore. And I saw some more ardite, so we'll grab that as well whilst we're at it. Okay, so what does that leave us with? That leaves us with 3 cobalt, 6 ardite. That should be okay for now, I think. Okay guys, we're back from the nether and now we're going to make a better pickaxe, so we're improving already. So I've smelted down the cobalt and I've also made some molten bronze, which can be crafted by placing in 3 pieces of copper and 1 piece of tin. So the ratio is 3 to 1, copper 3, tin 1, and that gives you bronze. So we're going to be using cobalt for the handle and cobalt for the pickaxe head. So let's pour the handle first of all. And then we'll be using some bronze for the binding because that gives it a bonus in durability. So let's craft ourselves a pickaxe head as well using the cobalt. Cobalt is a material that allows you to mine fast. So if you want tools that are quick, then you should use cobalt. And then as I say, the bronze gives you that durability bonus on the binding. So let's take the cast for the binding, and by clicking the bronze, that means it's bottom of the list and will be the next thing to be exported from the smeltery when right clicked. So let's take our binding, and then combining all of these 3 together will give us a fairly good starter pickaxe. So you can see we've got lightweight, momentum, which are both bonuses to mining speed, and then dense, which gives you a bonus to durability. So we'll take that pickaxe, and then we'll do... Actually, I was going to ceremoniously throw this one as well, but I think we'll keep it as backup just in case, because it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too slow, actually. It was a bit quicker than I actually thought it would be. And then we can pop this one in our number 1 slot. So we've still got 2 ingots worth of cobalt and 3 ingots worth of bronze that we'll keep in there because I do want to craft a few more tools in the coming episodes or so. But for now, guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode. So let me just take a second to clean things up and we'll wrap this video up. Alright guys, welcome back to this video for the last time for today. Before we wrap things up, I have actually bought another loot chest. So this was a 20 RAK loot chest. So let's right click that to open it. And that gives us a railgun turret, some ammo, and a turret base. Ooh, that is quite cool. Something hopefully we'll be able to look at soon. That might be quite interesting. Anyway, that is for another episode. And as I say, this is the end of this one. So if you have any questions or anything like that, make sure to ask them down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to get back to as many of you as I can. And I do hope you enjoyed this video. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. I've been Hocus Pocus. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.